Good morning. I gave three of the matches yesterday an overs call, and look at that. The only reason newly promoted sides could be vulnerable, and look at them, all three of them conceding 3 goals. Solidly on Bournemouth's side last night. If Southampton scored first, that would be an early Christmas present, but no, it was done by half-time. And note again, those of you playing over 2.5 goals, a 15-minute break, you'd have been out of it by half-time. Fabulous. Palmer and Cagliari look very competitive, suggesting Palmer might have been able to score. First, nope, Cagliari took the lead, so no surprise there. The man, scoring in the 62nd minute. I want one of those football shirts. The man. Palmer's the man. Yeah, man. 2-2, and then a Desmond Tutu at the end. So if you were up and about for a Desmond Tutu and it looked good, one of the key elements to take on the 2-2, the amount of second half goals. Does it have a good story as well? Is there a come from behind? Is it the frustration of losing a lead twice? Indeed. Piccolo putting the man to bed. Villarreal, Las Palmas, again, a newly promoted side, and the Yellow Submarine familiars in La Liga. This pretty much as per expectation. Did we get a 15-minute break or more for over 2.5 goals? Yes, indeed. And if you kept that play into the second half, you'd have been delighted to see the opponent score, because what that does, that almost cements over 2.5 goals. You'd be cashing out there, because the market will be thinking with a whole half to go at 1-1, Villarreal are going to do this indeed. Took them very late, but that was your exit point from an overs play. So really good stuff there yesterday from the main ones. Today is dominated by the English leagues, lower tiers. Don't tend to research them, but I've done a little bit of championship for you. Not that it's going to be worth much, because I tend to react to the Championship League 1, League 2 via the odds mostly. And you get to know some familiar teams like you can rely on, like Peterborough, etc. So that's what I'll be doing this evening. It'll be like the usual 3 p.m. on a Saturday, won't it? Nice, busy, all kicking off at the same time is what you want as a trader, using your time efficiently. And into the mix as well will be the Champions League. I'm not sure of the relevance of the research. It might prove worthwhile for, again, a 2.5 goal or an overs or a neutral play. But again, these are like derby-style matches, particularly when you're flirting with 1.8 the favourite. It's not a gimme by any means. Stuttgart have impressed pre-Champions League and the Bundesliga, not faltering. Sparta Prague, coming from the lower Czech league, really, your instinct is with the Bundesliga side, isn't it? Far more strength in depth with the league. This is interesting, isn't it? The amount of respect Arsenal have been given. Odds-on favourite against Paris Saint-Germain at home. This is Paris Saint-Germain not missing Kylian Mbappe at all. So I'll be watching this one with interest. I think Arsenal have been working on that clean sheetery, trying to keep a clean sheet. They're aiming for 2-0 wins as well under Arteta early season. Barcelona young boys will be shortlisted. If we can get 15, 20 minutes at 0-0, that would be remarkable. With a 1.07, you could be tempted into going first half goals, 2.5. That's the expectation that comes with these odds. You know the drill as well. You're expecting a scoreline between 4-0 and, I would say, 9-0. Choose 3 of those, and Bob's your uncle if you can nail one of those. Bayer Leverkusen, we're expecting goals here this evening. Before half-time, who knows? AC Milan certainly an up in quality for Bayer Leverkusen. Dortmund and Celtic, I'm with Dortmund all day long. The SPL is very weak indeed. There's no strength in depth to the league. There's nothing really for Celtic to stretch Celtic apart from playing this lot. Inter Milan, obvious. So it's a very readable coupon this evening. Inter Milan against Red Star Belgrade. That's a huge gulf. PSV Eindhoven and Sporting Lisbon. The market simply cannot split these two sides. which entertains a possibility of a neutral play or don't get involved. Man City 105 again. With it comes possibility of first half goals 2.5 if you fancy that. I would look and try to get 1.7, 1.8 about over 2.5 goals instead of over 1.5 goals in this particular instance. So I've done some more in-depth research for members of footballtradingprofits.com. You'll find that at the website. Let's just have a quick trawl through. Short list of matches. Burnley's been in good form. I don't think Wayne Rooney's Plymouth will land a blow, but they did get a very good result against newly relegated Luton in the last match under Wayne Rooney. Football genius. Cardiff and Millwall, too tough to call this, but I would suggest a possibility of both teams to score. Millwall coming off the back of a home win. Coventry and Blackburn, no strong opinion. Always a newly relegated side at home. Deserves our respect. Leeds United, 1.95 away from home, have been hitting the heights, but this is going to be a tester for them and a tester for their recent defensive capabilities. Let's have a look at recent form. Clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet. No, two consecutive clean sheets for Leeds. 3 clean sheets in 4 matches. Make that 4 clean sheets in 5 matches. So you get to see their strength. Not only that, they're following it up with Arteta's favourite score, 2-0. So that looks very good indeed for Leeds. Norwich, possibility of both teams to score. So if Norwich score first, you'd think Leeds might be capable of getting back in on the action. 3 wins in the last 4 for Norwich. This is going to be as tight as the market suggests. But Leeds are finding their defensive strength now. Will that keep Norwich quiet? Sunderland and Derby, 1.67 favourite at home automatically gets my attention. English League 1, English League 2, I never research. The lower down the tiers we go, the less reliable these leagues become. That's why I tend to choose my battles via any odds-on favourites. They'll get shortlisted today and focused mostly on these. I'm not going to discount any other match. In-play stats will reveal all. Don't forget, react to red cards, etc. But plenty of odds-on favourites in English League 1 and English League 2. Port Vale, MK Dons, Gillingham. So it looks a more competitive coupon in English League 2. I tend to go down there now and again, but tend to flirt with disaster when we enter those particular leagues. I'm not sure how much of the FA Cup will be covered on Betfair's exchange, given the nature of the teams involved today. The likes of Chester would stand out for me if it goes in play. EFL Cup has been a very competitive competition and very reliable as well. So I would keenly follow Newcastle at home today. Don't forget your over 2.5 goals. Professional Development League. The best way to practice over 2.5 goals is in a league like this, where you've got a high proportion of overs matches. Now, if we can get 15 minutes out of this lot at 0-0 or even more, we'll have a good shot at a value play. I prefer 1.1 over 1.5 goals because the odds degrade very slowly. 1.5 goals, for instance, I think we had a recent goal in a Twente match, I think, or one of the other big boys who was struggling. 75th minute goal. And the only loss amount in my over 1.5 goals was about £4. So it's got some real... Of course, a 0-0 will kill you off. A 1-0 after the 80th minute will kill you off. But any scoreline up to about the 75th minute, you've got a chance of an evens or break even if you can get that 75th minute goal. So it's 1.5 goals is my favoured overs. I just find it far easier to get 2 goals than 1. And if you get that first goal scored early enough, you can pretty much guarantee yourself a reasonable return there. Premier League, International Cup, probably be on the roster. It's been a goal fest, so no need to desert it. Odds-on favourite away from home, Maccabi Haifa, will just get some attention. And that's the coupon today, as you can see. Fairly robust. Lots of potentials for over 2.5 goals. So again, working on the overs. I'll do an over 2.5 goal post for members of footballtradingprofits.com, giving us today's potential overs angles. And hopefully this evening, well, I'd rather do it in a live chat webinar, live stream, showing you the overs methods. It's difficult to explain over Telegram, and it's also difficult to have confidence because we're early on in the development of this strategy. We need to have enough matches where it doesn't go our way, so then we know how to react when there's a problem or when there's a potential loss. How do we minimize the loss? How long time-wise do we give it, etc.? So plenty to think about. I will see members of footballtradingprofits.com on Telegram from about 5:45, I would say, today. Or maybe, well, I will follow the under-21s with interest in the Professional Development League with a view on overs plays. So that would be interesting. But 5:45 start this evening. Looks like I'm in for a very late one. Better get the coffee brewing. Have a great day. And members, watch out for the 2.5 goal post, which I'll post at some point during the day.